केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyanam, everyone. A very warm welcome to all those of you at Adi Kailash who are physically at the home of the Avatar, His Holiness Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda, and those of you who are watching us on two-way, on Nithyananda TV Live, on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Myself, Ma Nithya Mahayogananda, and my buddy here, Ma Nithya Swarupa Priyananda, we welcome you with our deepest love and respects. Today, at the eve of yet another explosive Nitya Satsang with the Avatar, we just want to be a gentle reminder today. A gentle reminder for what, you may ask. A gentle reminder for what Swamiji has probably been speaking on for not the last 2 or 3 days, not the past few weeks, but for time immemorial, for eons. Swamiji says, every time, in every avatar, in the form that is visible to you and invisible to you, I am continuously speaking, asking you to choose good, the right over pleasure, telling you that through that choice, you will attain me. Through that choice, you will understand what real pleasure is. Today, on the eve of yet another beautiful satsang with the Avatar, we just want to recap and show you what it really means to choose right, the good over pleasure. Today we have a very young, very beautiful being with us. That being is an embodiment of what happens when you are able to choose good over pleasure. Now you may be surprised, you may think, oh, you need a lot of maturity, Swarupa Priya, in order to be able to choose the good over pleasure, the right over pleasure. Even in spite of what the society will throw at you, the kind of persecutions you will have to undergo, this actually brings us to the choices that modern man faces every single moment. For example, we both like chocolate. We both know how much we like chocolate.
That's true.
But if both of us were traveling somewhere, we both like traveling, and if we see some really yummy chocolate truffle cake that makes your mouth water, we are not going to bother about it if we clearly see it is not vegetarian, it is not vegan, it is not organic.
Absolutely.
And for in your case, if it is not made by a sannyasi.
Yes.
That is a choice that happens when you have a certain intelligence in you that is awakened by the Avatar, by means of initiation, when you live around him, when you do his programs in your case, or like us, Adi Kailashavasis, you actually get to physically live around him. For us, choosing the right is the pleasure. Choosing the pleasure. For example, if me and Swarupa Priya have got that truffle cake in front of us and we're like, looks good. But we will not even bother saying look good, because in terms of the health that we have to maintain as power manifestors, as Swamiji's disciples, as people who need very less sleep and work longer, for us it will be a decision for health, for Swamiji, for this lifestyle, and more importantly, we are much older. No, I'm not saying we are old. We're saying we're much older compared to this young, beautiful being who we are going to invite on stage today.
Yes.
And yeah, I think we're probably a whole decade or 12 or 13 years older
Let's
than
not
her.
do the math,
Yeah,
ma'am.
let's not do the math. Okay, thank you, Swarupa Priya, for again reminding me that we're live and we should not probably discuss our age
And
out
also,
here.
thanks to our Swamiji, we're reverse aging.
Yes.
So soon we'll catch up and be her same age.
You know, I actually read a book. It was called The Agora. And in that, they talk about these great Aghoris who are 300 years old, but they will look
Wow.
like they're only 16 because they have the
Amazing.
capacity to retain mercury inside them. Mercury is a deadly poison, but their entire stomach will be filled with mercury. They don't have anything like 1, 2, 3 urges, no bodily urges, and they just live eternally 16.
Yes.
And they have the powers of invisibility and levitation and you name it.
Wow.
And normally they do not mix with society, and they're very visible. They're visible only to few eyes who seek that science and that path.
Yes.
And without further ado today, let me once again remind you, today Swamiji says, if humanity is known for its never-ending problems, it's only because we lost the intelligence, we lost the ability to choose the good over the pleasure. That is why people eat in something that comes out of plastic. It doesn't matter whether it's non-organic or whether it's like a whole bunch of crap.
Yes.
Whether you eat rat poison or anything else, it doesn't matter at all. With that said, I'm going to leave Ma Nitya Swarupa Priyananda to invite our... I have a lot of things that I can say about her, but this very special guest, let's see who she is and how is she going to prove to you the power of chastity, being able to choose your consciousness over everything else, being able to choose what is good for your consciousness over anything else. Go ahead.
So who else would be fitting of such a beautiful introduction that Ma Maha Yoga has given than someone who has really shown the integrity to the avatar? What is integrity to the avatar or chastity to the avatar? Not hoarding the connection with him, but sharing it with the world. Swamiji told us once, those who love him, don't try to just get his attention or be constantly in his presence, but they'll seek new and innovative ways to introduce that humanity starving and struggling for the right, but caught with that addiction to the pleasant, to their better alternative, the better option. Nobody else in Nityananda Sangha has done this as effectively as this child prodigy about to grace us on the stage today. So of course, many of you must have guessed already that it is our honor and pleasure, not just right, but also pleasant, to introduce you to Ma Nitya Yoga Matananda.
See, that's exactly her.
Yes.
All the adulation, all the praise. And when I saw her just a couple of minutes back, I think I should just let her soak it in a little more. Swarupa Priya,
Yes, Ma.
just before Yogamata came in, and I happened to see her, I was thinking, you look like a combination of Sadashiva, Krishna, Devi, everything put together. And I got reminded of what Swamiji told us about her. Swamiji wears extraordinarily long dreadlocks. And he said, each one of his dreadlocks is one of the gods, goddesses, the great yoginis, rudras, different forms of Sadashiva, Adi Shakti. He says, all of them put together is one Yogamata.
Wow. Awesome.
Go ahead.
See, and I just love the entrance music. I don't know if any of you recognize that score. She's truly the living Vedagamic version of a Harry Potter and also something much, much more. When we have someone like Yoga Mata on the stage, the first and foremost thing I'd like to let all of you know is that while we see her for her great ability to manifest Shaktis and her amazing stage presence and her viral video, all of you should know she's not a child prodigy in the outer world context, in the context of a kid who can do math really quickly or play a song on the piano very beautifully. She's not the kind of child prodigy who will be recognized for excellence in academics. She's a kind of child prodigy that only exists in Adi Kailasha, one who does all the aforementioned and much more. She has scanned and healed numerous prominent individuals and VIP guests. And at the age of 12, her YouTube video called Girl Demonstrates a Cool Superpower, Third Eye, went viral, now topping the YouTube charts at nearly 10 million views. She's a student of the Nithyananda Gurukul, a modern-day real-life Hogwarts, excelling in her studies and learning all the tradition of Vedic arts and sciences. She loves singing and is currently learning Carnatic music here in Bengaluru, Adinam. It's actually so humbling also to be around Yoga Mata. I interviewed her once on my own YouTube channel and I asked her, how does it feel to have millions of people watching you in any given moment? And she said that for her, the fame doesn't even touch her because she's very vividly aware of the fact that all the great answers she's given in interviews, all the Shaktis she's manifested, are Swamiji working through her. Now, Ma Yoga Mata, even though you've answered this question again and again and again, and you always bring it back so beautifully to Guru Bhakti, that Swamiji works through you, how does it feel really sitting on the stage right now, dressed up so beautifully as Krishna, hearing the Harry Potter music play as you come in, and presenting the glory of the Gurukul education system and of the avatar, His Holiness Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda, to the world?
Nithyananda, for me, how it feels is I'm just a channel for Swamiji to exist and for Swamiji to manifest all these powers. For me, it's not a pride for me whenever I manifest these powers. I just know and I understand that whenever I'm manifesting such powers, it is my devotion to Swamiji and it's my chastity to Swamiji when I manifest these powers. And that is the way even I'm able to manifest. My integrity to my Guru is what I'm able to manifest. And I know that whatever I'm manifesting, it's a pride for Swamiji. I'm making Swamiji happy for whatever I'm doing. That is my only context when I manifest powers.
Beautifully shared, Ma. So with that, do you feel that any kids who might be watching this interview, if they also want to manifest Shaktis, if they also come here to the Gurukul and develop that feeling connection with Swamiji, is it your experience that other kids are able to do the same?
Yes. Actually, so many kids, just by seeing Swamiji, they all had the inspiration to come to the Nithyananda Gurukul and to live here, study here, take Bhautika Brahmacharya and live the lifestyle of Hinduism literally. And all of them, I can really say that everybody is able to manifest many powers and adept in many powers just because of their integrity that they hold for Swamiji and their devotion that they carry upon Swamiji. Anybody can have so many different views on Swamiji, whether he's a father, a brother, or whatever it can be. But that whatever cognition they have about Swamiji has to be very chaste. Only then that manifestation even happens till the depth. And only then, in my experience, only when I started seeing Swamiji as my father and having the context. For my father, if he tells anything, won't I do it, then why can't I just do it for Swamiji? So that's when I surrendered my cognition about Swamiji is my father, and that is when I was able to manifest powers in a very depth.
Beautifully shared, Ma. Thank you so much. We're actually going to take this interview into kind of a fun direction right now. Instead of asking you questions that require a long, intelligent answer, we're going to ask you questions that require an instant, spontaneous answer. This is going to be a rapid fire round. So for those of you new to rapid fire, we're going to ask Ma Yogamata the first word that comes to her when she hears the following 6 words. Are you ready?
Yes.
Of course she is. Your first word, Ma, is God.
Swamiji.
Sannyas.
Ultimate romance with Swamiji.
Parents.
A channel to give birth to me and to be with Swamiji.
Friends.
Guru Behan.
School.
Something that is not required in life, but when you come to Nityananda Gurukul, obviously you start manifesting powers and live like Swamiji.
Awesome. And last word, powers.
The ultimate of living avatar.
How beautiful.
You know, I was kind of nervous about that. I'm like, see, everybody has got a lot of opinions about God, sannyas, parents, and everything. But you're 12. You're just 12. And if you ask those words, powers, to an adult who does not know Swamiji, they'd be like, powers, like, I mean, like what? They'll just stammer and stutter. But to be 12 and to be able to answer these questions in a rapid fire round, it shows your depth and your maturity. And this is the maturity that we open today's satsang towards. The ability to choose good over pleasure. How do you do it?
Whatever I know, I just see it with the third eye. I use all these Shaktis that Swamiji gives, and any decision I have to make. For example, if I like reading books, and if someone calls me for a demo or a Sakshi Pramana or an Akashik reading or anything, I just see, okay, is my third eye telling me to go for the Akashik readings or should I continue reading books? Which one is better for me and which one gives me the ultimate that I can experience with Swamiji? Then when I'm able to see, I'm able to just see that, okay, to manifest Sadashiva, I came here itself for manifesting Swamiji and for manifesting different powers. Then let me align myself to that context that I came for. And that is why I'm able to just see that, okay, let's go for the Akashic reading and let's go manifest Sadashiva through this body.
How wonderful, Ma. So basically, even the ability to answer a question spontaneously without trying to fill in the gaps of thinking with sounds like and like that Ma Mahayoga humorously demonstrated for us, even just to be able to speak as a Shakti. Another aspect of life that I would consider to be a great Shakti. Basically, when we're here as Swamiji's disciples, everything that we do, everything that we manifest, everything that we feel, we understand comes from the context of our connection with Him. However, there might be some people who still don't understand how to develop that connection or how to come to Gurukul. They might not even understand why having a Shakti is such a great benefit in their life. For individuals like that, especially young people who may have seen your viral video and been inspired, what word of advice would you have to share with all of them?
I'll give my experience, how I came to Gurukul. The first engineers I did was in 2012 December cruise. At that time, I was very inspired by my friend, my best friend. She already was studying here in the Nityananda Gurukul. And her name is Manitya Madhurananda. And she inspired me by telling how the Gurukul was, how they're able to use all the different powers and how they're able to use different contexts to align themselves in their life. And the clarity that they had in life. I was actually a school topper and I had very good experience in studies, sports and many different things. But even after that, I just knew that if such kids are like that, then why shouldn't I go? So that is when after my engineers, I asked my mom and I asked her, why don't we go to the Gurukul? I want to go study there. And she at first, for the first 6 months, she was quite resistant. She was telling, no, not now, maybe later when you become much older. Then I told, no, this is the right time for me to go. Why don't I go now? And she still, for 6 months, she didn't allow me. Then at last, I knew that, okay, I like Swamiji a lot. I like all these kids and how they are a lot. Then why don't I just make a decision and I throw some sort of tantrum and make sure that I go. And at last, the 7th month, we came to India, and this was in June. We came to India to visit my grandparents. At that time, I told, we are going to the Nithyananda Ashram and we are going to stay here. I'm going to stay here and live in the Nithyananda Gurukul. And that's how we came, that's how even I came. Just the will persistence of knowing that I will come no matter what happens or whatever obstacles come into my life. I know I will come here to the Nithyananda Gurukul. And that is what made me stay here for the past 5 years.
How old were you then?
I was 7 years old.
I think my favorite part of this story is that so many people would assume that all the Balasants, all the child saints of Nityananda Gurukul, were put here by their parents. It's cool to know that the reverse is true, that for 6 months they didn't want to allow you, but you used that will persistence. And it kind of sounds like she's giving advice to other kids. Throw a tantrum and you'll get here. I really, really love that, Ma. Now that you are settled here, it's been a number of years. How do your parents feel about you being in Gurukul now?
Well, as per what I think, my perception is, I know that I'm living here with Swamiji and that is the best for my life. So I know that they'll also think that they feel blessed that they have put me in Gurukul, though I'm the only child, though their life is literally settled upon me at that time. I know that, okay, I'm with Swamiji now, that is my utmost. Let me leave whatever desires are there. For example, I had desires of becoming a pilot, becoming part of the aircraft parts. But I knew that, okay, let's leave all those desires back and let's move forward, becoming something better in life, that Swamiji choose me now. And I know that Swamiji has not chose the best for me, which is, Swamiji said that I'll be the future US president. And I know that's the best that could happen to me now.
Ma, I think I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to live in a world with you as president. Have you thought already about what that kind of a responsibility would entail?
I know whatever I experience here in the Nithyananda Gurukul, all the trainings that I go through, whatever incident, each and every single incident that happens here, I know it's a training for my presidency in the future.
That's so great. Wonderful, Ma.
Ma Yogamata, very recently Swamiji has said that for all of the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasants, he's going to invoke the DNA of the 64 yoginis and the 64 forms of Sadashiva. And of course, even the 43 Tidi Nitya Devis. For people who are wondering what it is, they are all various gods and goddesses, as described in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. He said that you guys are going to be the presence, the physical presence of these gods and goddesses. He also said he will let you choose. Which goddess are you choosing, or which god?
Kalabhairava.
Kalabhairava. Actually, what we have not mentioned in this mini interview of Manitya Yogamatananda is her biography, how she actually came to be. It's a very interesting, you'll find it very mystical and very interesting to know that no one can create a horoscope based on her date of birth. In India, you'll always be able to create a horoscope based on your date of birth and time of birth. If you give for her, it's not like her parents don't know she was born in the US after all, and right to your weight, everything we will know. But there's absolutely no horoscope that can be created. It just does not come through. And that is actually going to make for a very good second segment about how you came to be. But maybe before that, let's show the world why you are being presented the way you're being presented today. At the age of 12, the power of being able to choose good over pleasure, that bringing chastity to your consciousness And all these will just be words if we are not able to demonstrate it as a power that people can physically see. Yogamata is actually known for being able to increase the size of your biceps just by the power of her chastity that she has towards Swamiji. I know that ladies, with no offense towards you, but it's usually men who are quite crazy about, having to build their biceps. And we're currently playing host to the Inner Awakening program, which is currently going on. How about we have a volunteer from here, just any one person, absolutely anyone who would like to have the size of your biceps increased. I don't know how much it's going to happen, maybe a few centimeters, maybe a few inches, but all it'll take is about 2 minutes. And you are very welcome to come up on stage, and don't worry, she's not going to bite you or eat you up. She's pure Sattvic vegetarian. You can come up on stage, be seated. Yes, so we were getting approached by an Inner Awakening participant. You can come up on stage, you can sit right next to my Yogamata. Your good name is?
Antariksh.
Antariksh. And you're currently doing Inner Awakening with us, yes?
Yes.
Having fun so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is Yogamata. Antariksh, how old are you?
22.
22. So she is 12, about a decade younger. She's now I'm going to ask you to flex your bicep like this, okay? And you're going to make it really strong. Look at me. Raise it high. All right. So tighten it out here. Ma Swarupa Priya is going to come to you with a tape measure. And she's going to take a tight measure. She's going to take a nice tight measurement of you. Then Yogamata is going to remember Swamiji in her third eye and do what she does best. This is the Shakti, one of the Shaktis of Mahima. It's an Ashtama Shakti, one of the extraordinary powers of the divine. It's an extraordinary power of the divine. And these are powers that come to you from the space of enlightenment that Swamiji initiates you into. So once the initial measure is taken, I would like to know exactly what it is. Take a nice tight measure. Once that is done, Yogamata is going to express the Shakti of Mahima, being able to increase a muscle mass in hardly, maybe in less than 2 minutes or less than a minute. I don't know how much time she'd like to take out here. Yes?
So
What is the measure?
It's exactly 2 notches after the 10.5 inch mark.
So exactly it is?
So 10 inches and 3/4.
Okay, so 10 inches and 3/4. All right, great. So now, you don't have to worry that one is going to be imbalanced or any such thing. All right? Yogamata, are you ready? You're going to express the Shakti of Mahima. Great. So you can begin. And if it's Yogamata, it is the other arm. So if you want, you can ask him to turn towards you. So observe Ma Yogamata well. All she's doing right now is remembering Swamiji in her third eye, chanting the Guru Vandanam, invoking the presence of her Guru in her body. Once she's in that high spiritual frequency of Swamiji's own enlightenment, she will just stare at the person's arm through her third eye. And then again when he flexes, another measurement is going to be taken and you will see a significant difference. All of the Inner Awakening participants out here are here to experience such extraordinary powers, not because it's just cool to have them. Only when you're manifesting powers, you are at a state where you have changed your problems into Shaktis, into powers. Only then you can call yourself a person who does not have inner violence. Otherwise, we'll only be trying to change everything other than us. So right now, Yogamata is going to be using the power of her third eye right on Antariksha's bicep, and we'll see what happens. I've recently read that people pay a lot of money to consume protein powders, steroids, things that will increase muscle mass, and because of that, experience a lot of side effects for their kidneys, age faster, die sooner, and they're not able to take decisions where you can choose the right over pleasure. You always choose the first option. You are always reacting more than going into action. So we'll see what happens out here. And I know Ma Swarupa Priya herself has played so much with this power of being able to increase the hair
Yes.
length on someone. Maybe you should explain that yourself.
Yes, I would love to, Ma. Actually, even this Shakti to increase the bicep size is one of the Shaktis that I manifested while doing a Zoom session causing people for Mahasadashivoham in December. So you might be wondering, what does it mean to cause someone for Mahasadashivoham? Actually, Swamiji has designed every program in the Adinam for the sake of manifesting the ultimate goal of those who attend the programs. Now, he's blessed a group of us here to be able to manifest Shaktis, powers just like the one my Yoga Mata is demonstrating now, in order to help people wherever they are in the world achieve their goals even before coming to the program. Then through the program, expand into something even greater than they would have imagined before. So one evening I was having a Zoom session, doing body scanning, remote viewing, also looking into people's finances to find out how they can manifest wealth. When I asked if anyone likes any specific kinds of healings, one of the boys on the session called out for my attention, and he said, "Please do a body scan. Tell me what's wrong with my physiology." The moment I chanted the Mahavakya, invoked Swamiji's presence, looked through the third eye, I could see he didn't have any illness, there was no injury, he was in perfect physical health. So I wondered why he wanted a body scan. Suddenly, through the third eye, Swamiji revealed that this boy had been trying and trying and trying to increase his muscle mass. But he was very, very skinny. He had a physiology that simply would not build bulky muscle. So I told him this, that the only thing I could see, quote unquote, wrong was that he wasn't building muscle. So I remembered that Swamiji had told us the power of Mahima, to increase the size, flows through the third eye just like a physical healing. We increased his screen size, and in front of everyone else on that Zoom session, his bicep went from a loose-fitting t-shirt to a tight-fitting t-shirt. It's a really cool power and a huge blessing from Swamiji.
So Ma Swarupa Priya, it looks like my Yoga Mata is ready.
Ready?
Come
Okay.
on, Antriksh, flex
Let's measure
those
your bicep.
biceps.
Wow, how many of you can already see before we put the measuring tape? There's more definition.
Put it on exactly the same place.
It's on exactly the same place, and if the camera wants to zoom in, it is now 11.1 inches.
The camera can zoom in, show.
So before it had been at 10 3/4, now it's slightly over 11.
How many minutes you took, Kane? No, actually Swarupa Priya was talking and I was talking, but I knew you were done. So actually I think for her, it took just about 2 minutes.
Yes.
When she was finally ready. And in 2 minutes, if you're able to increase your muscle mass by almost an inch, do you know what that means? I know that when Ma Swarupa Priya took the first measure, it was a nice tight measure. When you're again proving to the world that your muscle mass is increasing live by a 12-year-old who's seated out here, who's got no pressure, it's like she's a walking, talking, living, magical muscle mass increasing supplement. If you are a human being and you do not have the power to change your body as per your desires, your wishes, what you want to do in your body, if you feel you need to spend 6 months in building your body, then you have a huge blind spot about the physiology that you carry. Why Yogamata is able to do this? Very simple. Her physiology, by the sheer grace of living around the avatar, does not have a blind spot about what it means to have a body, what it means to be able to change that body, manipulate that body, and it does not matter that you're on live television right now. What do you have to say about it? And Antriksh, congratulations, little more muscle mass for you.
Thank you.
If you actually sit here for 21 minutes, nicely you can go with like 16-inch biceps. Understand? That is why you should be at inner awakening and manifest this power yourself. And Swarupa Priya,
Yes, ma'am.
before you take over, I wanted to tell all of the audience, these are the powers that happen when you're living with Swamiji. Those of you who are not able to make that decision, that's the reason why he makes himself available through a host of programs, which is like inner awakening, like Antriksh is here for 21 days, or Mahasadashivam, which is soon approaching on the 31st of March, and it is going to be for exactly 31 days.
Yes.
You will manifest not just this one power, but over 108 extraordinary powers of the divine. When you manifest such powers, you are no longer child, man, or woman. You are a divine being having an extraordinary life experience. Yogamata, why don't you say whatever you like to about it? Otherwise, people will think it's too casual. You've done some magic out here like Harry Potter, and Antriksh is smiling and you are smiling, and no one has any clue how this happened. Go ahead.
Only one experience that I really felt very deeply. It is just that whether I know that it has manifested completely or not, I know that Sadashiva really channeled through this body and he really manifested something. I'm always confident when they just put me on spot for a demo, because I know that, okay, I know that whatever chastity I have and whatever integrity I have to Swamiji, I know that all will just reflect through power manifestation. And I know that's literally the only way where I can just prove to Swamiji, and I can just show Swamiji that I'm able to show my integrity to Swamiji. That's all I know.
Ma Yogamata, I just wanted to say this. If someone as young as you has the ability to increase muscle mass, then you can apply the same power to increase wealth of someone. You can apply the same power to increase the health of someone. You can apply the same power to increase the quality of relationships in someone. The same Shakti is what we use even to increase the weight of a gold coin. Say, if Antriksh gave you a 5-gram gold coin, you can make that into 6 grams, 10 grams, and God knows what all, just through the power of chastity. And by chastity, we mean determination to be loyal to your consciousness, to choose the right over pleasure. Antriksh, you are very quiet. Are we not giving you an opportunity to speak? You can go ahead. You can share your experience.
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
That is the most innocent answer Swarupa Priya and I have ever received on stage.
I definitely agree.
No, that's wonderful. I do know that Antriksh is having quite an intense experience at Inner Awakening. I think it is only day 2 for all of you, yes? Day 2 or day 3? Oh wow, it's day 3 already. And you have few more days to go for Inner Awakening, and I actually wish you many more opportunities for you to yourself manifest powers. When you are here, in under 2 minutes, if you're able to increase muscle mass, then imagine what you can do with such an extraordinary power in your life. Swarupa Priya and I, we have been eyewitness to even more extraordinary powers, such as being able to change the temperature of your body. By that, you will immediately alter your mood swings, heal it forever. You can change the temperature of the environment around you. If it is raining, you can stop it. If it is cloudy, you can make it into a nice sunny day and enjoy a picnic.
Yes.
You can also instantly de-addict anyone from some problems or phobias that they have, just using the power of an awakened third eye. You can experience quantum memory and what Yogamata and all her friends have been recently experiencing, ability to download languages and in just less than 10 minutes be able to create a complete script in a new language.
Wow.
And speak it out as fluently as if it's their native language.
Yes, that's one of my favorites actually. There's nothing like witnessing someone here answering a question in another language. Then the person who asks the question asks them, "How long have you spoken this language?" And they say, "I don't." And we see that happen more often than you'd imagine.
Ma Yogamata, Which are the two languages you spoke? I know that the Sanskrit thing happened, and then which other language?
I chose Arabic and Sanskrit.
Arabic and Sanskrit. So by the time you become the President of the United States, you'll probably be the only president who speaks more than 108 languages.
Yes.
So in 108 languages, the world is going to have, see, they always say that the US president influences the rest of the world. So you will have a young, bright, enlightened avatar on that powerful seat, teaching the world the science of enlightenment, being the most powerful presence of Swamiji, and his daughter will make us proud. And one day, Swarupa Priya and I will say, we shared a stage with you.
Yes.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And Swarupa Priya has got something for you. Call it a little surprise from us. Go ahead. So Ma Swarupa Priya has actually planned this little surprise full of, I think it should be what we like to call as enlightening gifts, because Ma Yogamata is not going to be satisfied with just some kind of a small little toy. And it's got beautiful anklets, a variety of spiritual alchemy products, some special herbal bath powders that only avatars in training use to develop their power manifesting bodies. And of course, she said that she wanted to become Kala Bhairava, so a beautiful Kala Bhairava deity just for her. So that is from Nitya Satsang with the avatar. I only want to tell all of you and all the viewers one thing. So many babies are born around the world, and they have only one expectation, that someone is going to guide them towards higher consciousness. If you are a parent, it is your duty, obligation, responsibility. If you are a child, then if you see Yogamata talking, it is an invitation for you to join the only school in the entire universe that creates avatars. If you are a being who has thirst for higher things in life, then you should be honed, trained, fed, loved, nurtured, cared for, prepared as an avatar at the Nithyananda Gurukul. So as any parting words for our lovely audience, Ma Nithya Yogamatananda?
One thing I would like to share is anything you want to experience in life, anything you want to make as a reality in your life, whether you think or cognize that it's impossible or possible or it'll not even happen in this whole entire universe, whatever it may be, just trust yourself on Swamiji. Just put that integrated cognition on Swamiji and it will just happen.
Great, Ma. And definitely that's what we're about to do right now, because we are now entering the most exciting, anticipated, joyful time of the day. And of course, that is when the powerful cognitions are downloaded to us directly from the avatar himself in form.
Wonderful. And with that, let us now prepare for an audience, a darshan, with the great living enlightened avatar, His Holiness Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Please sit with your hands in Anjali Mudra.